Epiphone, like a weird Japanese, early Japanese.
Bass too.
What?
That's a bass too.
Yeah.
Did you tell Hapfield before or after we did that gig? Because I played that DW kit.
Oh yeah, it sounded good. I totally did fine.
Well, I know how he is. Probably like,
Like,
that's another score.
Save Damon from not having the Yamaha kit. Oh, but now I have to go play this. But what are you supposed to do? Like say,
Well,
I don't need that. I already got it.
well, that's the thing I was telling him. Like, I've never had a Yamaha kit. This is great. But it sounds, I mean, the kit's amazing. It's the old Yamaha recording customer. Like,
Yeah, that sound, right?
but don't tell him this. I found that it was a 20-inch kick. I found a 22-inch kick on eBay. Same line. I was like, buy.
Yeah.
The same price I bought. Just that kick was the same price I bought his kit. Like,
Now I don't want to hear it.
I know.
So I think upgrade would be a little bit more complicated.
What?
Upgrade, I think we need more time. I mean, not overpowering, but I think it will help drive it because you drag it. I don't want to go too fast, but I want.
We weren't dragging at all, but yeah, we could be more dance-ish.
Yeah.
She wants everybody to get up there and clap.
Right. Okay.
So,
Well, early morning run through. But yeah, it just, yeah, we had an
Yeah,
early
for the
morning.
run through, keeping it level. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good.
no,
Oh, wow.
let's use it. Like, since we started.
Say what? Oh, that one.
I like it. I got it. Yeah. It was, yeah, I'm very happy with this. I had two like this. That were really good.
Let's give it up for the band. Michael Grossman, Andrew Higgins, and Damon Hope. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year out there if you're live streaming with us. It is a very rainy, cloudy day here in San Francisco. Yay for the rain, right? Nobody in this room is going to be complaining about the rain, right? Not at all. We are so grateful. That is answered prayer. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Reverend Deanne Morency. I'm the Associate Minister here. It is my joy to be here with you today for this very, very special service. So if you have never participated in a Whitestone and the intentional letter writing, you are in for a treat because that is what we're going to be doing today. So it is not our normal service, so just know that. It's sort of going to flow a little bit differently. So I am just so happy to be, it's 2019, you guys. Isn't that amazing? This is Unity San Francisco's 100th year. We have been in San Francisco for 100 years. That's just so incredible to me. And we are calling it our year of transformation. Our year of transformation. So we are just so glad to have you all with us. One of the things that we know and believe in Unity is that we are the divine itself. We are the living presence of that light, of that love, and that we are called continually to explore, to deepen, to learn more about who we are, about how we get to show up in time and in space as love, as light. That's what we're here for. So everything we're doing today is really designed to anchor that for you for this coming year, for the whole year. So right now, what I'd love to do is invite Jessica to come on up. Thank you for being here, whatever it took for you to be here today. But now we're here. So we're going to celebrate that we're actually here. So I want you to, take the stuff off your laps. I know we gave you a lot as you were coming in the door. Take the stuff off your laps, take a breath, right? And we're going to actually be here together in the space. So I'm going to invite the prayer chaplains to rise and to anchor and to hold this community in the prayer field. If you're watching from the live stream, just know that you also are included in that prayer field, no matter when you're watching this, no matter where you are, because we in Unity know there is only one activity unfolding everywhere. So we breathe into that space and we allow this beautiful, beautiful chant to center us into the very truth of who we are. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I
the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the broken dreams behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star shining peace over it all. I am light. I am light. I am light.
So we breathe into this space. I am light. I am light. And we anchor the truth of our beingness right now. We anchor the power and the presence that is the very breath that we are breathing. We anchor the light and the love and the joy and the creativity, the overflow, feeling it just everywhere present, feeling it pouring forth from you, feeling it pouring forth from those around you. I am light. I am love. How good it is truly to know, to remember. So we celebrate it. We celebrate the blessing that we are. We celebrate the blessing that is this community. And we know that in our yes, to shine our light, to be the radiant beacon of love that is the truth of our being, everything we need, we have. I am light. I am willing. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Unity San Francisco as we celebrate Sunday mornings, Wednesday nights, classes, events, lots of stuff going on. One of the things we enjoy is agreement, is to say, to be positive, to look to the divine principles of love, inclusivity, of empowerment, of restoration, of healing, these divine powers. So then we ask ourselves, if there's power in agreement, what are we going to agree about? A couple years ago, the community came together and asked these questions. What is it that we can give word to so that we can bring together agreement from the infinite divine into specificness? So we have a vision statement, for example. We use this to guide ourselves as a community. I'm going to read it once. We are a vibrant spiritual community, honoring the divine presence in all and radiating the unity message through loving service. So we ask ourselves, do these words have feeling, have a meaning, have something that pulls on your heart or gets you to think yes? If so, I ask you right now to practice that agreement with me as we say it together. Say it and see what you feel. See if you feel that declaration of the good. So let's say it together. We are a vibrant spiritual community honoring the divine presence in all and radiating the unity message through loving service. And so it is. We enjoy running the community. I work here part-time. I also volunteer as a prayer chaplain and on the building committee, and we love making programs and events to celebrate the divine in each of us, including the animal kingdom. The blessing of domestic animals is another opportunity for me to practice seeing the divine, giving love to that animal, and maybe receiving love back from the natural world. What another way to practice the divine in all. So join us. It's Francine Bravetti and Errol, and I'll also be there on Saturday, the 12th, from 2 to 3. We're inviting people to bring their domestic animal or a photo of a domestic animal that you might have known in the past, and also bring a story to share. And we're going to be meeting and having that exchange of the divine love in a specific practice with animals that also love us back. So join us Saturday the 12th at 2 p.m. We also have a town hall meeting coming up next Sunday, right after service, and we're going to be discussing the financials and renovation options for this possible new building that we're looking at 240 Page Street. So come to the annual meeting. We already have the architect looking really deeply into the facility and the needs of this property if we go in this direction. So we're going to be talking about those financial reports. And then right after this town hall meeting, we all jump in Uber or Lyft, and give me the next slide, because we're all going right over to that building. At 2 o'clock, not 2:30, at 2 o'clock next Sunday, we all visit that building. So we can all conversate, see what it is, go deeper into the conversation, because it is a community decision that has to have the members' agreement into this direction for our future. So because it's members, we also want to invite you to become a member. If you're already a member, it's time to renew. But if you are wanting to be a new member, see me after service. And there are some requirements that you consistently attend Sunday, that you've been to at least one series of classes, that you have a history of volunteering and or financial support. So that way, when you become a member who then has ownership and voting privileges, we just want you to know what you're becoming a member of, knowing that we're putting our thoughts and our belief into the divine in everyone. So join us. Talk to any of us on staff or on the governing board about becoming a member at Unity. The next class that we're having, beginning the new year, is First Steps, written by Ken Daigle. This is an introductory course for abundance principles, consciousness of, if I don't think that I am enough, then I'm not going to open my time to volunteer or my time to give finances, because I don't believe that the universe is abundant. But if we begin to practice these concepts, that there is an abundance universe and there is a constant flow coming to me, then maybe I can begin to give of my time or of my talents or of my treasure, and see if the universe then gives you more back, and the cycle begins to build away from fear and lack toward a flourishing, abundant garden within me and out through my hands. So join us for the class. $50 for an entire 6-week course, including the materials. It's going to be on Sundays from the 20th to the 24th after service from 1 to 3 p.m. with Reverend Ken. And then also I want to point your attention to the bulletin. And in the bulletin, we have a spiritual connection card. I invite you to tear this out and just let us know, even if you're a member, that your name, and if you're brand new, how you found us. We're going to be returning to this spiritual connection card a little bit later as a spiritual tool to practice setting our intentions for the week. That'll be on the second side. But the first side for now, just your name and address and how you found out about us. If you're on Livestream, welcome to our live streaming. If you're watching through our Unity SF website, there's a button below to fill out a spiritual connection card. If you are brand new, visiting us for the first time, welcome. We're so glad that you found our location, found our website. There's so much going on. We want to give and enjoy the cycle of giving and receiving love with you. We also have a free gift for you right up here at the name tag table. So please see us afterwards for free gifts. I also want to mention that in the back of your chairs is a wonderful magazine as we're starting the new year. setting our intentions, exercising our ability to create our visions and our dreams, there's a free booklet in the back of your chairs or in the lobby, Courage to Imagine. Please take one, a gift from us. Let's continue celebrating. I invite you to stand if you're willing and able as we sing Down in My Soul.
I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my home.
It's now time for our meet and greet. We invite you to greet each other with a handshake or a hug. So there will be time to chat and connect and see people after service. We have a fabulous hospitality spread set up. We filled up. It's awesome. So on Wednesday, we have Wednesday night services here at Unity San Francisco from 7 to 9 p.m. And each week they rotate through during the month. So this coming Wednesday is going to be Collective Wisdom, and it's being led by our very own Tyler. And who else? And Carol Dollahan. So the prayer chaplains are stepping in and leading some of the services. And the collective wisdom is this really beautiful opportunity to explore what does it mean to actually listen to the wisdom within, which we're going to be doing a lot of today, right? To listen to the wisdom within and then actually be able to speak it into the space. A lot of times when we're sitting in the stillness and we're sitting in the silence, finding language can be very, very challenging. And there can be a disconnect between when I'm sitting on my cushion and when I'm actually out in the world, moving and talking and being. So collective wisdom is an opportunity to come together collectively, sharing verbally the wisdom that reveals itself through the gathering together. Every time we do it, it's completely different because it's always a different constellation of light beings that show up for it. So drop in, check it out. It's a really nourishing, deeply nourishing space. So I am now going to, so we're going to drop into our part of our service. Does anybody not have a folder? If you don't have a folder, raise your hand. We're going to take care of it now. It'll smooth things up later. And does anybody not have a 12 power? Did anybody either not get a 12 power card last week or not get one today when they came in? Okay, so 12 power cards need to come over here, but that's good. A little bit of business taken care of, right? Jessica is going to lead us in with our song. And then I am going to do a little bit of a talk, but I just want to make sure that we have some of the business piece taken care of. Yes? All right.
Hard as it seems, standing in dreams, where is the dreamer now? Wonder if I wanted to try, would I remember how? I don't know the way to go from here, but I know that I have made my choice, and this is where I stand until love moves me on, and I will listen to love's voice. This is the faith, the patience to wait when there is nothing clear, nothing to see. Still we believe love is very near. I cannot imagine what will come, but I've already made my choice, and this is where I stand until love moves me on, and I will listen to love's voice. Could it be that love is only waiting there to see if I will learn to love the dreams that life has dreamed for me?
It's a great song, isn't it? I love it when I get these ideas and I'm like, could you just make that a reality for me, please? And they do. And I will listen to love's voice. So, last week we were burning things, right? We were letting go. We were letting go of what we didn't want to take into the new year. We were burning it away. We were choosing. And this is very important in Unity teaching. We were choosing. We were activating our capacity within us to name and to claim what it is that we are standing as. And Burning Bowl is an opportunity to sort of take stock and to realign and say, no, I don't want that. I'm going to choose anew. And we have the 12 powers. People got 12 powers as a way to say, what else could you be standing as? What else could you be activating within yourself? And what we're going to do today is we're going to deepen into that part of the process. So we've made space. And now we're going to name and claim what it is that we are calling into being. What we are calling into being. And the challenge with this is because our minds love to think they know exactly what it is we need. Our personality, right, gets really caught up in thinking it knows what it is that we want for the coming year, thinking that it has it all figured out. And the invitation with Whitestone and with the letters from Divine Wisdom is that we transcend this mental personality understanding of what's possible. There's a line in the song where she says, I can't imagine what's coming next. Now, your personality probably can imagine, right? We're talking about surrendering into something that's deeper, greater, more powerful, and yes, a little bit more scary. Because the invitation is to step out into the places you don't know. To step out in a way that perhaps you never thought was yours to step out into. So the Whitestone is the naming part of it. We start by naming what it is that this coming year is going to be. And do you guys remember the story of Rumpelstiltskin? Okay, I love the story of Rumpelstiltskin because it's all about naming and claiming, right? So for those of you who don't remember, there's a princess or a farm girl, there are a gazillion versions of it, but there is a young woman who gets held prisoner by a king or by a prince, or because word is that she can transform straw into gold. And she is forced, locked in a room, to transform this straw into gold. And if she doesn't do it, she will be killed. And Rumpelstiltskin, we don't know that's his name yet, appears and says, I'll do it for you. And she gives him a necklace in exchange. And then the king is so thrilled that he got all this gold that he says, oh, you got to do it again. He gives her even more straw. And she's locked in again. Rumpelstiltskin shows up again. She gives him something else. And he says, okay, I'll do it for you. And then, of course, the king says, one more time. Threes, right? One more time. You got to do this one more time. Even more straw. You got to turn it into gold. And if you don't do it, I'm going to kill you. When Rumpelstiltskin shows up this time, he says, and if you do it, I'll marry you. I love the choice, right? Caught between a rock and a hard place. So Rumpelstiltskin shows up, and she has nothing to give Rumpelstiltskin this time. And he says, I will take your firstborn. And she says, okay. Because, otherwise she's going to be dead. So she says, okay. And it transforms into gold. And then she gets married to the king who locked her up to make the gold. Sometimes it's a prince, so it's not actually the king, it's the prince who she actually wants to be married to. And a year later, she gives birth to a child. And Rumpelstiltskin comes back and says, mine. And she says, no, no, no. And he says, I'll make a deal with you. If you can guess my name, you have 3 tries. And if you can guess my name, you can keep your baby. And she's racking her brain. She's using the mental part of her being, right? And she's coming up with like Bob and Tom, right? And he's like, no, no. And she has one chance left. And she goes out into the woods. She goes out into the stillness. Because remember, this is all a metaphor. This is all metaphysical. So she goes deep within, into the woods within her heart. She goes into that sacred still place. And what does she hear? She hears this little ditty being sung, and she hears the name Rumpelstiltskin. So the next day when Rumpelstiltskin shows up, she pretends that she doesn't know his name, and then she speaks it. And in that moment, he disappears. Because when we name something, it no longer has power over us, and we gain power over it. So the power of naming, first and foremost, is so crucial to how we understand in Unity teachings, how we manifest what it is that is our heart's desire. And I want to be really clear, it's our heart, our deep wisdom heart desire. It's not the ego's understanding of what it thinks might be next for us. And there's the challenge. There's the space. So the naming part is all about, can you truly listen? Not to what you think it's supposed to be, not for what, and I always use this as my litmus test. If whatever it is you hear is something that you think you could do, then it's not the divine wisdom speaking to you. If whatever you hear is something that makes you kind of go, whoa, I don't know how that could happen. I don't know how I could. Then you're touching that divine potential within yourself that is always seeking a greater expression than anything you can imagine. Then we move into the claiming part. So at this point, you have the name of it. Now, the name could be something, one of my names that I come back to over and over and over and over again is joy. And not just joy, but radiant joy. This is something, I even had it until somebody stole my license plates, because who doesn't want to be radiant joy? They were my license plates, right? But radiant joy is my touchstone. It's what I come back to when I'm feeling off center, when I've named myself radiant joy. And my job then is to try to live into that as fully and as powerfully as I can. Now, there have been years, this is sort of my overarching one, there have been years when it's been a quote, maybe, that is my guiding touchstone, right? One year it was, I will not be moved. Right? It can be a phrase, it can be a word, it can be the power that you got, right? It could be the power. These are powerful access points for the divinity that you are. So once you know that it is a radiant joy, that it is love, that it is life, that it is faith, that it is forgiveness, that it is gratitude, whatever it is that you hear during the meditation that we're going to do, the next step is then to claim it. To actually accept it. Accept it as yours. And so that's where the letter writing comes in. So you will write a letter as if it is from the divine wisdom that you are speaking to you a year from now. That makes sense to everybody? So you're going to write the letter as if it's from divine wisdom to you a year from now, talking about what an amazing year you had. All the things that you accomplished, that you anchored, that you stood as, that you were able to step into in a powerful way. We were in D.C. during December, and we went to the African American Museum, which if you have not gone, it is incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And I've had another number of people mention my new necklace, which I got at that museum. And on the back of this tree of life is engraved this quote from Maya Angelou from her inauguration poem on the pulse of the morning. Lift your eyes upon this day breaking for you. Give birth again to the dream. And the reason why this resonated so deeply with me is because sometimes these letters are hard. I want to be really clear. Sometimes I have written letters to myself and I get them again the next year and I'm like, I didn't do that. I didn't step into that. I didn't do that. So part of the process is that it's a way to keep realigning yourself. It's a way to keep saying, who do I really want to be? It's a way for you to choose again. Like, okay, I didn't do that, but maybe I don't really want to do that. Right? Maybe I thought that's what I wanted to do, but maybe I really don't want to do that. Because I'm asking you to be bold. I'm asking you to be courageous. I'm asking you to not write down what you already know you're going to do and to be. I'm asking you to step off that edge into the place where you really don't know. Really don't know. And can you meet yourself there in that place? Because I know whenever I read a letter where something in there was something I hadn't done or hadn't shown up or hadn't manifested in my life, it asked me to love me even more. It asked me to be compassionate with myself even more. It asked me to stand and to discern who I wanted to be even more. So the gift, there's magic in opening that letter and being like, wow, I did all that. And there is also magic in, wow, I need to sit and get clear about who and what I want to be in this world. What do I really want? And you are allowed to change your mind. I'm going to say that. You're allowed to choose differently. So the invitation is to lift your eyes upon this day breaking for you. Really hear that. It is breaking for you. Breaking open in a new way. And be courageous enough to dream again. To really dream. To really step out in that way. I know for myself that I've had some of my dreams that didn't pan out the way I wanted them to pan out. And that can be painful. And yet, every moment, every step has led me right here. Right here. And this is amazing. Right here. Even in the midst of whatever it took for me to get here. So, I'm going to guide you through this whole process. Right? We're going to drop in to a meditative place. We're going to do, so this is the order we're going to do it in, so everyone sort of has a sense of the structure. And if you are watching from home, we have a button where you can write a letter as well. And if you want, you can just add whatever your white stone word that you hear is into that so that you can participate in that way. We're going to do a guided meditation first around the white stone. A word, a phrase, something that is the name of this year for you. And as I said, it could be the 12 powers you picked. It could be one of the 12 powers. It could be a word. It could be a spiritual practice. It could be whatever it is that you are naming this year for yourself. I remember when my wife named hers Builder. Right? Whatever it is that you hear, that is going to be what you are naming. Right? And then we're going to move into the process of actually writing the letter from the consciousness that it's already done. From the consciousness that everything you are seeking has already seeked you, has already found you, and it is already done. And then when we finish that, because it is the 100-year anniversary of Unity San Francisco, we're going to do a very short, quick meditation one more time to come up with a word that you hear that is Unity San Francisco's word this year. The word that speaks to you about this community. Right? So those are the three pieces we're going to do. Everyone got that? Okay, so we're going to start off with the white stone. So does everyone have their materials? Anybody need a white, can you guys start passing out the white stones? The white stones and pens are coming around. So take a stone, take a pen. Does everybody have a folder? So in your folder there should be a piece of paper and an envelope. On the envelope, you are going to write your address. Okay, your address. If you don't know where you're going to be in a year, pick an address that it can find you at. Okay? Right? Because what will happen is these letters get placed in a box, and the prayer chaplains rotate through praying over these letters. So for the entire year, these letters are held in the prayer consciousness by the prayer chaplains. And when we get to December, we mail them back to you. So it needs to be an address that will get back to you. So the Sharpies that are coming around, you want to take one, because your regular pens will not write very well on the stones. Okay, so you do want to take a Sharpie. All right, can we have a little bit of music just while we're doing this little bit of business to sort of set the tone? Jessica, can you come on up? So now that we've got some of the business out of the way, while we're doing the meditation, don't write, just listen. This whole meditation is about getting past the mental field and dropping down into that deep heart space within you, okay? And if you finish before other people finish, just hold space. Just stay in that sacred field of catching the vision of what it is that is calling you forth. What are you becoming in 2019?
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment I am love. I am love. In the stillness of this moment, I am love. I am love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am love.
And so we breathe into this love. We drop down. We allow the mind to become still. Breathing and being breathed. Allowing that space, that divine wisdom that we are, to reveal itself. The love, the grace, the joy, the beauty, the harmony, the wholeness the truth right now, recognizing God is love, God is grace, God is wholeness. Recognizing I am grace, I am love, I am wholeness. Quieting the mind. Becoming present to the divine idea that is seeking to emerge as you this year. The divine idea that is yours to inhabit, to dance with, to play with, to own, to truly own as your life. What is the texture and energy of this coming year? What does it feel like? In your heart, what does it feel like? What is arising? In all of your relationships, what is this a year of? In your career, in your job, in your expression of creativity, what does this year? What would you name it? With your community. In your finances. In your health, your well-being. What is seeking to express as your life, the texture of it, the feel of it, the color of it, the energy? What is singing through your heart for this year that is seeking to reveal itself more powerfully, more fully, more joyfully? What is the divine idea that is seeking to know itself as you? What are you calling this year? What are you naming this year? This is the year of. This is my year of. What word or phrase is speaking to you right now? Saying, name me, know me, own me, be me. Saying, I am yours and you are mine. Saying, I am your divine purpose. I am. And as we rest in the silence together and listen for what it is that we are naming, we just continue to make space to hear, to have the ears to hear. This is my year of. I am. And in your own time and in your own space, if you've heard the word, you can write it on your stone. A literal touchstone. And just hold that word in your mind. In gratitude, in love. And if you didn't hear anything right away, don't worry, it'll come. Just breathe into it. No forcing, no pushing. It will arise from that deepest place of wisdom in its perfect time. As long as we keep listening, having ears to hear. And so just feeling into how this shows up as your life. What does this quality look like? What does this energy that you are naming look like in your coming year? What will you do? What will you become? How will you show up? What is the energy that is supporting you this year in that becoming? How are you going to activate it? Calling it into every aspect of your life. So breathe into that. The activation, the acceptance, the claiming of this word. And in your own time, you can start writing your letter from that space of wisdom. Dear, however you wish to call yourself, this is my year of. Everything that you will do, be, become, what will emerge from that awareness that it is already done. It is already done. if you're live streaming, there is a button you can click so that you can submit your letter. Make sure you give us your mailing address and we'll mail it back to you in December. And as you begin to finish up your letter, just make sure that you seal it and place your address on the front. When the offering comes around, we'll be placing these in the offering. And again, if you're live streaming, just make sure you give us your address and we'll be sure to print it without looking at it, put it in an envelope for you, and we will mail it back to you in December. So I'm going to invite you to take your white stone in your hands. And open your heart to the word that you named for your year, whatever that is. And then I want to invite you to think about this community. To think about Unity San Francisco, to think about who we are collectively. We are collectively created by each of you. What are you naming this year for Unity San Francisco? What are we as a community seeking to become? What are we saying yes to owning this year? In this space, in this place where we come together to pray, celebrate, serve, and connect. What does it feel like as we think about Unity San Francisco in 2019? What is the energy of it? What's the feeling tone of it? What is the word? The power of our word. What is the word that is Unity San Francisco in 2019? And in your own time, just write it down on the back of the stone. So I'm going to invite you all to repeat after me, holding your letters, holding your stone. I am grateful for all the good I know is already done. I open myself fully to what is emerging as my life. I say yes to and say your word. I say yes to aligned. I say yes to all I have written and claimed. I say yes to all I am called to be and do. I am, and say your 12 power, whatever it was. I say yes to, and say whatever you wrote on your white stone. It is manifesting as my life right now. Turn to the person next to you and say, it's manifesting as your life right now. So now I want you all to get up and go introduce yourselves to each other as your power or your stone. Go tell and share who you are this year. I am life and I am aligned. And if you're live screaming, we will be with you shortly. So let's come on back. I know it's so much fun to share, isn't it? So come on back. After service, there will be lots of time to share and continue to anchor. Oh, so let's just do one final closing prayer. Right? One final closing prayer. So we just open our hearts and we say yes. We open our hearts to the good that is always seeking a greater expression as our life. We open our hearts and we accept what we are naming, what we are claiming. And we see and know it expressing perfectly and magnificently through us, to us, for us, and as us. And for Unity San Francisco. On this, our 100th year. How good that is. How grateful we are. And so it is. Happy 2019, everybody.
Right? Burn and release last week, name and claim, and become more of our good this week. And launch this new year, our 100-year anniversary. If you look at your bulletin again, there's that spiritual connection card. And this is a practice that allows each of us to think about, how do I want to practice these feelings, these ideas later on in the week? Now, some of the standard options that we've produced here for you is, I am willing to name my good. If you feel that, check it. I'm willing to claim my good. I am willing to live into my good. Or I claim 2019 as my year of, and you fill in the blank. Now, in your bulletin, you're going to leave this in the offering basket, but in the bulletin is the exact same for, and you can scribble your own personal spiritual practice for the week. And the reason is that if you take this home, it's to practice again at any time that you want to think back and say, there was something that I felt that was beautiful on Sunday. Think back and feel it again. One of the things that I do sometimes when I'm cleaning my house is I listen to us on the website. Even though I'm doing other stuff, I go, oh yeah, there's good stuff that I'm practicing to bring into my own life and into the lives of others. So however you want to return to this set of feelings and ideas again, using this as a tool. If you're live streaming, share with us your spiritual practices for the week, and there is an option where you can click to have us email it back to you for the exact same purpose. We're imprinting our consciousness and our subconscious mind for the good in our lives. Now on here is also prayer request. You can let Ken and Deanne know anything that you're affirming and declaring for your life, or if there is something that you want to celebrate, something beautiful that has happened, share that with Ken and Deanne. Now the prayer chaplains, as Deanne mentioned, we pray for the annual naming and claiming letters. We also pray for your prayer requests, but the prayer chaplains, we don't know any of it. We hold it highly important to protect your confidentiality. The only person who reads this, your prayer request and your successes, is Ken and Deanne. And nobody opens your letters to the divine. Nobody. But we pray for them, and we have 16 prayer chaplains that we love our weekly prayer meeting. We love our monthly assignments to pray for your letters for the good, knowing that your good is already here and more good. The power of agreement is another spiritual tool that we get to practice. So, let Ken and Deanne know how you're doing. This is our connection tool. And then we also enjoy giving and receiving of love and of abundance. And if I begin to feel that my cup overflows, then I begin to want to give of my time, treasure, and talent. So we have this offering basket. It's a ritual in which, as you feel your love going forth, you give either with an envelope, or if you give electronically, there's a little laminated card that you can put in the offering baskets, because you're taking your love and saying, I affirm my good that is so abundant that I'm able to give out into the world, knowing that I will receive back. So join us in the offering basket ritual. You will also see in your bulletin that we're doing our annual pledge drive to let us know, if you'd like, what you want to pledge for 2019. It greatly helps us to feel secure in our budget for the next year. There's also a place that if you want to sign up to give electronically, many of us give automatic withdrawal monthly. So there's a place for that. Put that in the offering basket, and your spiritual connection card, and your letters to the divine in the offering basket. And the pens, leave them somewhere. Here's Deanne.
Yep, the Sharpies can go in the basket too. So we are kicking off our Conscious Commitment campaign, and this is a powerful spiritual practice, and I really want to frame it this way. I mean, yes, it's very helpful for us at Unity San Francisco if we know and we can budget that X amount is going to come in over X amount of time. It definitely helps us be the professional organization that we are. And this is an opportunity for you to choose Unity San Francisco. We believe in choice. We believe in the power to choose. And by setting a monthly, weekly, quarterly agreement with yourself that says, I value this community. I value these processes, these rituals. I value coming here and being able and knowing that it's here, right? Knowing that lights are on. And I mean, one of the things I love about my giving automatically is that whether I'm here or not, I know that I am still feeding the place that feeds me. And that for me is just so delicious. So I invite you to think about making a conscious commitment, making a commitment to yourself, to this community, because you are the community. I mean, when you're making a commitment to the community, you're making a commitment to yourself. Can you feel that? It's not some separate entity. We are the community, right? So we have an offering. We have a special affirmation that we say over our giving and receiving offering. So I'm going to invite you to hold it all. So you should have a connection card. You might have a pledge card. You have your letter, right? You might have an offering envelope. Let's take a breath. And we're going to say this together. truly from the heart, from that deep space. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I joyously give and receive. And so it is. Amen. Jessica, come on down.
You can be amazing. You can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast or be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. Or you can start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they settle neath your skin. Kept on the inside and no sunlight, sometimes the shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave, wanna see you, I just wanna see you, I wanna see you, I wanna see you be brave, wanna see you, I just wanna see you, I wanna see you, I wanna see you be brave. Everybody's been there, everybody's been stared down by the enemy, fallen for the fear and done some disappearing, bow down to the mighty. Don't run, stop holding your tongue. Maybe there's a way out of the cage where you live. Maybe one of these days you could let the light in. Show me how big your brave is and say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. And since your history of silence won't do you any good, did you think it would? Let your words be anything but empty. Why don't you tell them the truth? Say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. I wanna see you be brave. I wanna see you. I just wanna see you. I just wanna see you. I wanna see you be brave. Wanna see you. I just wanna see you. I just wanna see you. I wanna see you be brave. Wanna see you. I just wanna see you. I just wanna see you. I wanna see you be brave. Woo!
Jessica Rahm, everybody, and our fabulous band, David Hope, Michael Grossman, Andrew Higgins. Show them some love. Oh boy. So we're going to move right to the blessing of the children. So we don't have any children physically with us here today, but we know that they're in our hearts, we know that they're in our minds, and we know that they are present this world over. This is for all the children. So please know this with me. You are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are. And so it is. Thank you so much to this took, you guys, this takes tremendous amount of effort. So I just want to send my love out to the greeters, to the ushers, to Kate, who handled all of the distribution, to Tyler. To Tyler, putting everything, Jerry, putting everything in folders, Marty, to the band, to Jessica. This would not be what it is without the music. Right, to our fabulous sound team, thank you so much. PowerPoint live stream. Huh? Thank you. I love this. So if you want to anchor what we did today even more, the prayer chaplains will be available for prayer. They'll be over in the prayer chaplain corner. They'll be up here on platform, wherever there's room. And upcoming events. So Collective Wisdom with Tyler on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Animal Blessing with Francine, Errol, and Tyler on Saturday at 2 p.m. And then after service, we have our town hall meeting, and we're going to go tour the building at Page Street. So please mark your calendars. And now it's time for our final closing song.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Show me a smile then. Don't be unhappy, can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, you call me up because you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
Transformational affirmations. I'll say them once and I'll invite you to repeat them after me. I am willing to name my good. I am willing to claim my good. I am willing to live into my good. I claim 2019 is my year of alive.
And I see my true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So we're not afraid to let them show our true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.